First carry for James Conner. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. They were looking for Johnson that time. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road, you're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. He'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Here we go. 30 base.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Jones. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
61, match box 5.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now back to throw. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. We're scoreless after 1.
On the ready.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
60 Pittsburgh.
The Packers take over 1st and 10.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
Let's go. 60 or. We own this. Go, go, let's go.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 2-yard line.
They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Looking to throw. Newman. And the catch made by Johnson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run here with Connor. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Again, it'll be Connor. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid. The reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run forward with Connor. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They come out here in the I. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run for it with Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the lock.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
No problem there on the extra point. And it's now 17-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Newman. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Newman. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Aaron Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st and 10 is Counter. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
I got you. Mike's 42. Check the out, check the out, check the out. Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newman. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Zadarius Smith able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Newman. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This one from 46 yards out. And Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Ready? 18 Gator. X3. 218. Chop it.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
26, check 26.
Shift.
Ready.
They'll run it with Jones. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive.
Set. 60 or. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
98. Watch 98. 98 for Mike.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
61. Matchbox lights.
This is Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Jones has it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
To throw again. Newman. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Steelers with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw. Newman, complete. It's Johnson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Second and 1. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Again, it's Jones. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. On the move, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Green Bay, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll